Adjust it.
Yours is up. Yeah, we good. All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, before we get started with this lesson, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And peace and and peace and salutation to the ones that's out there listening and that's laboring the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
You got it, bro.
So we're just going into, how Biden said that he was going to come out with 350,000 jobs, trying to stimulate the economy. He did the same thing with the so-called stimulus checks, trying to revamp Babylon, but that didn't help, because that's the Lord has it to destroy Babylon the Great, and it's starting with the economy, We'll start with that article.
Con. So this is from rollcall.com. It says Biden's new transition economy is just Build Back Better 3.0. It says his plans to fight inflation, Slovakia, isn't fooling anyone. And I'm going to jump down to the second paragraph. It says Biden begins his latest attempt to change the economic narrative with an obligatory moment of empathy with the plight of the American people, a classic lunch bucket Joe talking point he's been dishing out for decades. He then quickly pivots and sets down a familiar path of what can only be described as a series of gratuitous claims. Topping the list of accomplishments is what he calls the most robust recovery in modern history, which we know that's a bold-faced lie. Mm-hmm. Because under President Biden's reign, so-called, the economy has taken a huge down spiral, man. All right, ever since the transition from Trump to Biden, man, the economy has faltered greatly, man. It says, topping the list of accomplishments is what he calls the most robust recovery in modern history, brushing off record high inflation, skyrocketing gas and food prices, and abysmal poll numbers like flies at a backyard barbecue.
So it's all going into, it said, what was it? The victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case, That was going into the time before the inflation was getting bad, but we're reaching the point of hyperinflation. Gas now is at in Charlotte at like $4.69, and they talking about gas going to get to like $6-7, and in Cali like $10.
Right, and to add to that, they actually have a term that we're in a stagflation, which pretty much means that with the cost of living rising, the pretty much the wages are staying the same. So you're making the same amount of money, but everything is going up. So pretty much you're not going to be able to afford a regular way of life, man.
I seen a video the other day that basically dude was saying like for a 2-bedroom he was paying $1,700-1,800 and on top of everything that they require like pest control and
Facts.
TV and shit. So he was paying $2,000 for a 2-bedroom. It's not sustainable. On top of they're not increasing the wages, and then you got gas and you got food. Everything is being increased. Just going into that inflation.
Mm-hmm.
It's no economic growth. Could you get that for me, Sure. The term economic growth.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, this is economic growth. You talking about the screenshot, right?
Nah, Google.
Oh, Google, sorry. All right, 1 second. Keep speaking.
Con. Yeah, it's not no economic growth. That's the same way that Rome went out. They ain't have no nobody stimulating the economy. With the jobs, they ain't have no new subservience to help with the economy. You got it.
Yeah, this is economic growth off of Google. It says economic growth can be defined as the increase or improvement in the inflation-adjusted market value of the goods and services provided by an economy over a certain period of time.
I think it was on Google.
This one right here.
Let me see.
But that still is on point because
yeah, you got it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, man, you want, like the brother says, you want these different businesses to help stimulate the economy to keep everything afloat. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what happened, what began to be the downfall of this economy was during the pandemic. You had, the economy go in a nationwide lockdown, which pretty much began to be the demise of certain, mom and pop type stores. Anything that pretty much wasn't like a superstore, began to take the hits because they couldn't afford to stay open during the pandemic because they weren't bringing in the same amount of money that they were, accustomed to getting, man.
Con. It says economic growth, basically saying the same thing that you said. It says an increase in the amount of goods and services produced per head of the population over a period of time. All right, so the point I want to get out of this was it says the increase in the amount of goods. All right, so that's going into your foods, your gases, and supplies and things as such. So it's not an increase in the goods. It's actually a decrease in it. It says in services, the services going into the jobs. All right, so it's a decrease in jobs, even though they said that it was 350,000 jobs created. The squeeze is out here so bad that people can't get to those jobs. So
Facts.
those jobs are not available. You know.
Yeah, and to add to that point as well, it was said that pretty much the elite are having this happen because they want to pretty much squeeze out, all your savings, so they can go ahead and pretty much phase out cash to bring in this digital system, man. So they're pretty much taxing you on everything, so they can bring in this digital currency, and so this economy is taking a hit. Number one, because Yahweh Shem Shai is destroying this economy, and then number two is so that they can bring in this new world order, which is really the preface of the true new world order, of when Yahweh Shem Shai brings in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Con, you want me to get to Isaiah 19?
Yeah, go ahead.
Con is Isaiah 19:1. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence."
Right, that's going into Yahweh Shai's grand return when he comes back on that giant fathership, with the host of angels to pretty much forward the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America, aka Egypt, man. Because when Yahweh Shai returns, man, all the false gods, all the idols that these people were calling on during that time, all right, they're gonna pretty much put them to the wayside because they're gonna pretty much see Yahweh Shai, and they're gonna have a great fear upon them, man, and they're gonna see that their religions and their beliefs really wasn't true, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
"And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it."
The heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it because he's bringing the end of this kingdom, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Verse 2, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
Right, and to show you that this is the will of the Lord, because it told you, I think it's in either Matthew or Luke, how the Lord said he's going to bring division. All right, so he's splitting up America as we speak, because now these Americans are waking up to the fact that the government has betrayed them, man. This is why you've seen a lot of these, proud gun-toting Edomites pretty much gearing up to go to war against their own government, because they see that these devils are pretty much in the process of taking their rights away, man. This is why you're seeing all these different false flags taking place, because Esau wants to get rid of all resistance that he has. So when he rolls on the American public, he has no resistance, man. So the Most High is stirring up all these different things to pretty much bring in, those rumors of war, man. Like it tells you in Matthew 24, man. Class wars, civil wars, race wars, man. That's all part of the Lord bringing that division in, man.
God. This is Isaiah, I'm skip down. This is Isaiah 19:14. It says, "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof." Going into how the melting of the midst of the spirit in Babylon or in Egypt.
That's right.
It says it mingled a perverse spirit, and that perverse spirit being how everything is, crooked, backwards. You got Transformers. You got the woman over the man, and things as such. That's that perverse spirit.
That's right.
All right. It says, "And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit." Verse 15, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do."
Yep.
And just the point of the lesson that we're going into is there's no work out here. Unemployment is at the highest that it's been. They trying to, you know how Esau like to do. He try to match things, but it's not working. You know, because the inflation is too high. You know.
Right, and continue on with the point that we go into about the economy pretty much going down the toilet. I want to go back to this article and continue reading. So this is back on rollcall.com. It says, going into Biden, it says he claims that he engineered the fastest decline in unemployment on record. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back up. It says he then quickly pivots and sets down a familiar path of what can only be described as a series of gratuitous claims, topping the list of accomplishments is what he calls the most robust recovery in modern history, brushing off record high inflation, skyrocketing gas, and food prices and abysmal poll numbers like flies at a backyard barbecue. Right, this man has literally destroyed the economy as we know it. All right, food is at a record high in America, and then you're seeing these shortages pretty much happen. So this is the first time that Americans are really experiencing, a shortage at the rate that we're going, man. It says skyrocketing gas because, hey, $5 in America is pretty much unheard of. And when you go back to the history that gas prices have been in America, and Biden it keeps they saying that by the time summer hits, man, gas could damn well be $10 in certain parts of the U.S., man. And we can see that, man. Gas is $5 is here. It says an abysmal, it's like in food prices and abysmal poll numbers like flies at a backyard barbecue because people they're very unimpressed at what Biden has begun to what he has done since he's been in office, man. 'Cause like I said, the economy has shit. It's pretty much gone to shit since he's been in office, man. Because we understand that he is the puppet being used to usher in this new economy. So he has to destroy the current economy to bring in this new one, which is going to be that digital based era where they're going to introduce the MOTB as the new way of life, man.
Got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 47:15. It says, "And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, 'Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money failed.'" All right, that's just going into it said the money failing. And that's what's happening in present day Egypt. The dollar is worthless, and that's why we're seeing part of the reason why we're seeing inflation, hyperinflation, and what they call you said the stagflation.
Stagflation.
Yeah. Where America messed up was they where they messed up was where they switched over from the gold standard. Because it's not backed by nothing. In Habakkuk 2:6, I'm gonna get that too. Talk about that thick clay. And if you look up a debt-based society, because that's what this is, a debt-based society, it's not sustainable.
And if I want to add before you get that too, it's funny because it said that they looked at who? You said Joseph, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because that's Joe Biden's name, Joseph. And so when you look up what Joseph means, it said it means to add, to increase. And what is he increasing, man? The destruction of America, man. The debt, So and then it's funny because his last name is Biden, which Biden means to trust in, man. So hey, you people trusting in Biden to really bring forth the destruction of America, man.
Oh, I got precept before I get this. It's Isaiah.
Hey, so everything is spiritual, man. The Most High has this man in here for a reason, bro.
It's Isaiah 30 and verse 13. It says, "Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall.
That's right.
Whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant." And that high wall, with a high wall, you go for defense. All right. And the scriptures say that money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. But the excellency of wisdom is it give life, But if you trust on money, you can get the suddenly breaking at an instant. And trusting on Biden, because you said his name meant the trusting, trusting on him is going to get you destroyed with that high wall. All right. And let me see. Yeah, that was it.
I got one real quick before you get your other one. This is Psalms chapter 118 and 8. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord to put confidence in princes," right? Because with the Lord, man, you're never going to fail when it comes to, trusting in him to provide for you what you need, man. But you trusting in man, hey, Jake has been trusting in man every 4 years that they vote for a new president, man. And they even gave you a so-called black president with Obama to pacify you niggas even more. And what happened, man? Each president brought in the worst state for you Jakes every reign, man. You know, and with Joe Biden being the latest president, the figurehead that's in right now, man, he has pretty much came and pacified you niggas to the point to where you're at a loss for what to do, because you had to face the what's the word, the lesser of two evils, because you were so mad at Trump for being in office because Trump was a flat out racist, and you thought Joe Biden was going to do better when actually Joe Biden is a worse racist than Trump. You know, Joe Biden actually hates you niggas more than Trump do, man. You know, so the Most High gave you, pretty much exactly what you wanted. So you trusting in Biden, and look what's happening, man. He's making it to where you're having to figure out how you're gonna live going forward, man. You know, the cost of living is so bad out here to where you're literally. Matter of fact, can we get that in revelation about the penny?
Con.
You know, our people are literally working just to survive the day.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said that basically there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You don't say that Babylon's gonna be as a chase road, because
Yeah.
a lot of people gonna quit these jobs because, like, why work a job when all you doing to have that job is to just pay for your gas, or just to go, you're just making money to go to work. Like, nobody want to do that. This Revelation 6:6, it says, and I have heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Right now.
Con. So basically, a measure of wheat for a penny, that's going into an induced famine, on the left hand side, that measure of wheat for a penny, and that penny goes into the denarion, so a day's worth of wages, so people gonna have to be paying what they made for that day to get certain amounts of supplies, and to reiterate, no one's gonna do that, because that wouldn't be wise to them, But I had a precept. This is Habakkuk 2:6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay?" All right, so this is going into Esau, Edom. Destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. If you take different instances in, like, history, what he did to Gad. He came over here and he wrote different treaties and wrote it into action to basically take the land that Gad was living on. And that's what he did throughout history. That's how he spread his westernization, his philosophy, the democracy, and all the stuff that he lives for. Just wickedness. It says, "And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay," and that thick clay represents debt. All right, this is a debt-based society. You got that screenshot with the I think it was going into a debt-based society.
Yep. So it says, how does a debt-based economy work? It says, whenever a borrower pays loan principal back to the bank, that study stops circulating. It's like that money stops circulating. It just disappears from the overall money supply. It says the money supply increases when banks make loans and decreases when borrowers pay principal back to the banks.
You run the top part back?
Yeah. It says whenever a borrower pays loan principal back to the bank, the money stops circulating.
Whenever they pay it back?
Yeah. It says it just disappears from the overall money supply.
Yeah, so it says whenever a borrower pays loan principal back to the bank, that money stops circulating. It just disappears from the overall money supply. So I'm gonna keep going. It says the money supply increases when the banks make loans and decreases when the borrowers pay principal back. But basically, the point I wanted to get to was a debt-based society can't be it's not sustainable. That's why we see in Babylon the Great fall.
Going into that you want to think about the thick clay, right?
Yeah, going into that thick clay.
Yeah, because we live in a credit-based society, man, to where you're pretty much using money that doesn't exist. You're borrowing money that doesn't exist. So your bank account is literally just numbers that are generated. So you really don't have the money that you claim you do. And then with this money not being backed by anything, man, we're living in a debt note society. Pretty much using monopoly money to thrive off, man. This economy pretty much can't thrive because first and foremost, you owe China trillions of dollars. Number one, and then two, when you look at the debt clock, man, America has accumulated so much debt that's impossible for them to pay off, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so this place has no choice but to pretty much implode from the inside out, man, because there's no way that Babylon can fix itself, man. You know,
Con. I wanted to get Isaiah 33, 36 and 6.
I had something too.
Con. You got it.
Um, it's like it's in Jeremiah 50.
51 and 9.
Yeah, like we would heal her.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
You want me to read this first? Or you got it.
I get this first.
All right.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 9. In fact, I started at 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. Because understand, the Most High already had Babylon being, destroyed before Babylon was even, here. So spiritually, this place is already destroyed. We're just actually here in the physical playing it out. All right, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. And this is why you're seeing these different heathen begin to, take their money and their assets and take it back to their own countries, because they see that it's really no more there's no more use for them to continue to pimp out Babylon, because she's running on her last legs, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Most High said if Babylon would have been healed, it would have been healed already, man. So there's no fixing this place. Like I said, it's well over the hump, man. Like George Carlin said, man, this place is circling the drain, man. We're on the way out, because like I just mentioned earlier, Babylon has already been destroyed in the spirit. We're just physically watching her pretty much be destroyed, man. But like it tells you in Isaiah 46 and 10, man, the end was written from the beginning. So the Most High already had this place taken out before we was actually going to live here. Because understand, things work faster in the spiritual world than they do the physical. So we're already seeing these things already take place, man. All right, in the spirit. So we just have to actually physically watch it go down, man. And we're watching Babylon actually fall as we speak, man. You got it.
Con. This is Isaiah 36 and 6. It says, Lo, thou trustest in this staff of this broken reed on Egypt. All right, so that staff represents power. All right, it says broken reed on Egypt because the Lord broke that. He's breaking the staff of bread. He's taking the rulership from Esau, Edom. Isaiah 47. All right, it says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. You see, so if you relying on Babylon the Great and their economic system, you're chasing the bag. You're trying to get it by all means. Self-made. It's gonna lean onto your hand and pierce you.
Yeah, this place is ultimately going to thrust you through,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to be destroyed alongside with it. Because this place is a burning house, like Martin Luther King called it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's already on fire. You got Jake trying to take the pails of water and run there and put the fire out. You can't do it.
Yeah.
This place it's already done, man.
God. It's whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, talking about the charagma, and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. And, it's ironic that, President Joe Beasy, his last name means to trust in him. That's two for 2/3 in the heathen. That's what they're going to get, that charagma.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the end goal of why the economy is going the way it's going. Like going back to the article, it said that Biden called this a transition economy because he's phasing out the old to bring in the new. And he said that in his speech. He said we are in the new world order, and it's up to us to usher it in, man. And that's exactly what he's doing, because understand, Biden ain't nothing but a puppet. Everything that he's doing, he's being commanded to do through the power of the elites, the true rulers of this world, man. You got something?
God, that's Revelation 13 and 16, because this is where we headed. It says, verse 15, and he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, going into the system, Esau, Edom's rulership. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, so that image is going into the system, the NWO system. It says, what was that? It caused that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So those that are not with the NWO, that they're going to be killed. So some brothers may have to be martyrs. All right, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, and that's where this country is headed to, because the dollar is worthless, so they're doing everything to, because it's a induced it's happening on the left hand side basically, to where this economy is being destroyed. So they got to bring in, it said transition, so they going on to over to that new system.
Right.
But the Lord said in Psalms the second chapter that that it was a vain thing, so it's not going to come to pass. They're not going to be able to. The scriptures say that he got bounds that he can't pass.
And I want to make a point as well, because what you had with Biden, pretty much, he said that this nigga came out on camera and said that this economy going the way that it is, and that these people struggling to pretty much figure out how to live is actually a good thing, because he said that the people struggling to live is actually a good thing, because that's helping bring forth a green economy. Now, through the spirit, I just looked up, what exactly is a green economy. So it says a green economy is an economy that aims at reducing environmental risk and ecological scarcities, and that aims for sustainable development without degrading the environment. It is closely related with ecological economics, but it has a more political applied focus. And pretty much just going into what the brother Yawan was saying about the new way of life is going to be centered around the charagma. This is what you're having happen at these summit meetings, man. The Economic World Forum. You got Klaus Schwab pretty much talking about how they're pretty much ready to bring in this charagma so that they can be able to track everybody's movement, man. They want a carbon tax. They want to pretty much be able to track everything from what you're thinking to what you're doing, how much oxygen you're breathing, what you're eating, what you're thinking. It's a complete control, man. And so this is in the eyes of so-called economic news as a means to help reducing environmental risk and ecological scarcities. But this is actually moved to pretty much bring in total control, man. This devil literally wants to control everything. This is what a dystopia means, man. And if you ain't got nothing, I'm gonna get that word real quick.
Dystopia.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and what's the one that says no flesh shall be saved? Right here.
Yeah.
Verse 13. Well, yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, basically the scripture goes into if the days wasn't shortened, then no flesh should be saved. Because Esau gonna keep going. He's going for total. Yeah.
Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Yeah. So just the point, Esau Edom is not going to stop. He wants total control. He already got the world in his hands, but he wants total control. That's why the Lord is shortening up the days, for the elect's sake.
I'm trying to pull this up in the etymology.
But yeah, also in Habakkuk, it said that he basically he heapeth to himself all nations, and basically his desire as hell. It can't be satisfied. So to reiterate, he gonna keep going with that NWO unless the Lord take him out.
Yeah. So this is dystopia in the Etymon online. It says dystopia. It says a noun it says a state in which the conditions of life are extremely bad, as from deprivation or oppression or terror. That's the world this man is trying to bring in, man. A society that is deprived of its basic needs, that are provided by the Lord. The Lord made the earth to where everything that we need is available to us, in abundance. But under this rule of the devil, man, he has made everything to where it's scarce. Baba Kashai, could you get in Lamentations how it says that our water is sold unto us? because everything that we need in this life is given to us where we should be able to go and readily be able to obtain it. But this man it has made it to where all this shit that's out here, here it is, the earth is it's like the earth is 70% water. And you got niggas having to pay for water. All right? You got to pay for firewood. You got to pay for food. When there's trees and plants that got berries and mangoes, you got, farms that got fucking potatoes and tomatoes, but you got us paying for this shit at a high price, man.
Shit, we gotta pay the fish.
Yeah. This man is a devil, man.
I got pretty. No, I ain't found it.
No, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." All right, but when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. And right now, we're mourning because everything is in a twisted state. Like the brother was going into. We gotta pay for basically everything. We're oppressed on every side. You gotta ask the enemies of. You gotta ask your opposing nation to drive. You're a grown ass man. You gotta ask them
permission.
yeah, con.
That's my license is permission.
Yeah.
You gotta have permission. Here it is, man. I heard this in a song, man. They said, "Ain't it funny how God gave us life, but we gotta make a living." That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Here it is. We're here on the earth, living, and we have to pay to live.
Right.
That's some bullshit, man. That's how you know this man is the devil. But this is Lamentations 5:4. It said, "We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest." And that's exactly what is described here in Babylon the Great, man. All right. Hey, we was at the gas station last week at the camp. The gas station, by the way, is the worst place to buy water. I'm gonna state that. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But they got gas that's outside, that sun's been hitting it, which is making the water poison.
Mm-hmm.
And they were selling a pack of water for $10, bro.
I thought it was 11.
Well, that was either way. That's worse. $11 for a pack of 24 bottles of water. That's the state of life we're living in now, man. But that shows you we're in captivity because, like I said, the earth is 70% water. It's lakes and oceans and everything out here where you can get free water, and you gotta pay for water, which I wouldn't recommend you going to drink rivers anyway, unless it's like in a mountain where it's continuously flowing, because still water is poison anyway. But still, that's beside the point, man. We live in hell. This is hell for everybody. That's why the Most High said, if He didn't shorten the days, man, there would be no flesh to be saved, man. The Most High is literally making it to where, man, these days are flying by, so we can be closer to getting ready to get the fuck up out of here, man.
Okay.
I want to go back to this other definition for dystopia. It says a work of fiction described an imaginary place where life is extremely bad because of deprivation, oppression, and terror, which really is the same thing. But you watch these movies, man. Elysium is a great movie. All these futuristic movies, that what they all show you, that Esau, if he was allowed to rule further, which Esau is the so-called white man, if he was allowed to continue to rule, he would make the earth completely uninhabitable, man. Like I said, movies like Elysium, you got Wall-E, After Earth, and the list goes on and on and on, man. He shows you that what would happen if he would continue to be allowed to rule, man. This is why the Most High got to take this devil out, man.
Okay.
You got anything else?
No, you was about going back to the article. That was it.
Yeah, I got some more in the article.
Okay.
Continuing on in that in rollcall.com. So it says, he claims, talking about Biden, he claims that he engineered the fastest decline in unemployment on record, conveniently forgetting that the economy is still 1.19 million jobs short of where we were prior to the pandemic, which, it was it was in an era called the Great Resignation, to where people were quitting jobs at an all-time high rate. So how is this man gonna talk about how he ended unemployment better than any other president when this nigga literally locked the whole country down where people couldn't work? And he was paying people really to stay at home, because during the pandemic, unemployment was actually paying people the same amount of money to sit at home than what it was to actually go to work. You know, it says bringing back jobs isn't quite the same as creating new ones, which a growing economy needs. But Biden doesn't stop there. To justify his out of sync economy, he simply tries to redefine the whole. You say something?
You running back that it says a growing economy needs.
Yeah, it says bringing back jobs isn't quite the same as creating new ones, which a growing economy needs.
God, so you need like how Rome went down. It said that Rome it needed new subservience or subordinates. They ain't have no new laborers coming in. You know, and that's why we seeing the downfall of the society because just going into that point, it says for economic growth, you got to have new work opportunities. You know, going back to Isaiah 19, the Lord says it's not going to be no work for Egypt.
Yeah, it said no rush, no branch, man. You know, this place is through. It says, but Biden doesn't stop there. To justify his out of sync economy, he simply tries to redefine the whole idea of growth, telling people to see low job creation numbers in the months ahead, going from 500,000 jobs a month to a more reasonable 150,000 jobs a month as a positive. But not to worry, he says fewer jobs isn't a cause of concern. Biden actually claims that slower job creation is a sign that we are successfully moving into the next phase of recovery. The Biden administration's transition economy. Translation: lower your economic expectations for the future and accept the new normal. All right, and that's exactly what's about to happen, man. All right, these people are going to have to figure out how to live with less. All right, the Most High is literally bunching up these people out here, man. Like the term we used earlier, the squeeze, man. The Most High literally applying the squeeze to all these people because your way of life that you know it is being destroyed, man. This is the new normal, man. You know. And I got a precept to add into that. This is the book of Second Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 16. What's like this in it?
Number one out.
Go ahead.
This is Second Ezra 8:50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride." You know, it's going into what you were saying. The Lord is putting everybody into a box. You know, where they basically having to be almost minimalist. You know, they no longer have those like the scriptures say the teats and stuff like that. That was going into the woman, but everybody in Babylon the Great in the world, they don't have the stuff that they used to have, you know, so they having to make those dire decisions. Yep. You know, the Lord basically, the Lord's putting everybody into a box, you know, and they gotta choose between what side they gonna be on. If you on the righteous side, you know, you'll be saved, but on the left hand side, you're gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, it's all about choices now. You're gonna come to a point to where these people have to decide, yo. I heard Jake tell me this at work last week, but that shit was it's spiritual. But he was like, his wife got mad at him because he paid a bill that she didn't deem was important, and so he was like, yo, we can do without lights as long as food on the table. And that's the spirit that these Americans are coming into, to where they got to decide, yo, rent, you got to pay rent. I pay rent. I still got to have money for gas. I still got to have money for groceries. So I can afford the fucking Wi-Fi bill or the electric bill. Something gonna have to give. But I make sure I still can have food on my table. I can have gas in my tank so I can go to work so I can pay rent. You know, and that's the decision that everybody's having to make because the Most High is bringing the end of this place, man. You know,
that's a spirit because like the other day I don't know where I heard it from, but basically, businesses having to make the decisions to where they want to pay for certain things. So like AC and they like yeah, fuck that, man. We just gonna have to, you know, keep it pushing with whatever we got. Got it. Like AC is like is it doesn't matter, you know.
That's
like
an essential job, but it's funny you say that because my job literally we found out that they cut like one of the key positions at Amazon, and one the guy that was the head over that. Now he's back. He got knocked back down to the entry level niggas, bro. So he went from doing like a managerial type position back down to the entry level shit, bro.
Man.
So that shows you, and then they told us that they're trying to cut costs in all avenues, man. You know, so certain things that they were doing, they was giving out like free food, and they had to cut all that shit back, bro. So it shows you this place is done, man. Jobs are closing down, so certain stores that you're normally accustomed to going to, they're no longer able to go into, man. Which shows you that the Most High is killing this place, man.
All right, precept. This is Ecclesiastes
12.
Kanye, you got it?
Yeah. Ecclesiastes 12, and I'm starting 1 actually. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth."
So you're supposed to remember the Lord, before the scripture gonna go into before the bad days come, before the perilous times come. Yep. When you first hear about this truth.
Yep.
When you have the opportunity to repent, you want to remember the Lord, and repent. Because the scriptures say in Sirach 5:7, don't tarry by turning to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You keep going.
Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
God could say no pleasure in them because the Lord taking away mirth. The Lord wants you to remember Him. When it's not it's an analogy, but like the Lord wants you to remember Him when it's not cool when righteousness is not cool.
Yeah.
So to speak.
And a quick precept, just since you said that, this is Isaiah 24:11. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone, and that's exactly what's going on, man.
Yep.
It's a crying for wine in the streets because people want answers.
Yep.
They want to know why this is going on, and here it is. We're out here on the highways and byways and doing these lessons like this to give you the answers to why, but these people don't really want to hear until it's too late. But it says, all joy is darkened and the mirth of the land is gone because the Most High is taking away all the mirth here in America, man. And your music is destroyed. Your entertainment, your sports, all that is being done away with, man. Everything is literally being brought to naught so that you have no choice but to zero in on what the Lord wants. And you still gonna have niggas rebelling at that point, man. This is why he's gonna bring that destruction on these people, man.
Yep.
So going back, Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
The keepers of the house going into the economists, they're trembling because they see that it's no hope for Babylon the Great. The economy is shot. It's a certain term for it, but basically the economy is shot. It's being destroyed.
God. It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
God, the workers are ceasing because they are few. It's not no work out here.
And those that look out the window be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
So it said that it said look out the window and be grim.
It says they shall look out the window and be darkened.
Look out the window and be darkened because again, it's no hope for America. They're looking out into the future and they seeing that like this place is done. That's why you got these different Edomite truthers. They basically venting and stocking up on different things, guns, ammo. Cause they see that it's no hope for American Babylon the Great.
If you look at these different videos, they're all starting to preach the same thing. Pretty much, take all your money and invest it in the gold and silver. Start buying up assets that's gonna you're gonna be able to benefit off of later on because you're gonna start wanting tangible things in that day that you're gonna be able to trade when all things are done away with, man. Like I said, gold and silver being the main two things that you're always hearing people tell you to invest into because the pretty much trade is gonna come back into play when it's all said and done, man. Because then nobody gonna be worried about how much money you got, what materials you got. You're gonna have to do trades, man. This is why everybody is pretty much seeing this economy go to shit. So now everybody's trying to figure out ways to make stuff, themselves and sell it.
All right, precept. This is
I had a little bit more.
you got it.
Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And
Going into basically how it's no jobs. All these businesses is shutting down.
Yep. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
It said the voice of the daughters of music shall be brought low. That's going into the entertainment. Like it's it's not how it used to be. You
This
know,
shit trash.
going into was it 20 damn Isaiah 24:11.
Yeah.
It said that the mirth is being basically being taken away.
Yeah, you can't
You
enjoy
know?
shit here in
Yeah.
Babylon no more, man. Everything is literally being brought low.
Mm-hmm.
The sports is ass. The movies is ass. The shows is ass. The music, everything is garbage now, man. You know, once again, the Lord is making you people focus on His word, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Jake gonna continually try to find something so he can divert from the truth, man.
Okay.
You got it.
That's Isaiah 10 and verse 33. It says, "Behold, the Lord of hosts, shall lop the bow with terror, and the high ones of stature shall be hewn down, and the haughty shall be humbled." That's going into Esau, Edom. You know, but this is Esau, Edom's kingdom, as well as these, you know, these wicked women. You know, so
And niggas.
yeah, Con. It's going into not to like veer off topic. We're going into the economy, but the ones that are proud in stature, you know, they gonna be humble, you know. And to reiterate, you know, Esau, these niggas, heathen, and these women, you know.
That's right. And just going into that because the Most High is gonna make you, He gonna make you feel it. This is 2nd Ezra 9:9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Right, you're gonna be in a pitiful case because this is the time for you to be getting yourself right with the Most High, so that you have a chance to be able to sustain yourself when all hell breaks loose. Isaiah 33:6, where it tells you that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is your treasure, because all you're gonna have in that day is your relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So if that relationship is non-existent, you're gonna be through when all hell breaks loose, man. This is why I said they're gonna be in a pitiful case, because they're not gonna know how to handle all that shit that's gonna be happening to them, man. Right? They ain't gonna have no way to feed themselves and that family. They're gonna have nowhere to be able to run back to rely on, because when this shit really gets bad out here, man, they're gonna see that everything they trust in, whether it be their money, their belief systems, their religion, everything is gonna be shown to be false. You know, the Lord's gonna expose everything and show you made the wrong choice in putting your trust in whatever it is it was. Verse 10. For such as in their lives have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. And these same people are going to learn the hard way. Because it says what? In Isaiah 65:13, the Lord's servants are going to eat, His servants are going to drink, His servants are going to be well taken care of in that day. And these people are going to be what? Hungry. They're going to be starving, dying of dehydration, and in a pitiful case, because they didn't want to seek the refuge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They was too busy trusting in Esau and his damn government, man. You know? You got it.
That was loud.
I got one more then. This is 2nd Ezra 16:18. This is the time we're in. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers that stand in fear, the beginnings of evil, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? And we're in those times, man. The beginning of great death, man. The beginning of sorrows, the beginning of famine. We're seeing all that taking place, man, because the Most High is bringing on the destruction of Babylon. And that destruction starts within before becomes without, man. Okay? So it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So these are all the things the Most High is bringing upon Babylon the Great for his wickedness, man. And unto all you wicked people that refuse to get right, going into you so-called Negro Latino Native Americans. This is why you're struggling to make it as of right now, because you niggas don't want to get right. You don't want to repent, man. Verse 20.
There you got it.
For all these things shall they not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of scourges. So even though all this shit is happening, these niggas are still not going to repent, man. Here it is, the Most High is literally putting the squeeze on all you people, and instead of using wisdom and thinking, well, maybe this is the time where I should be looking to God. No, these niggas are still trusting their money. They're still trusting in Joe Beasy, you know, and the government, not knowing that these niggas is really setting you up for the okie doke, man.
They getting worse.
They getting worse, but they taking away your guns, all right? They stripping you of all your humanitarian rights. Bro, the simple fact that they're trying to develop a way to tax you for carbon, that right there in itself is a fucking mind fuck, man. You emit carbon on things that you don't even realize you do. That's carbon emission. You taking a shit, that's carbon emission. So they want to be able to track all that, bro. So that shows you this man is the damn devil, bro. And these niggas, no, they're not even paying attention to this. These talks are going on right now as we speak. And these people are just oblivious, man. This is why the Most High is going to fuck them up, man. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. As you mentioned earlier, that time is gone. People thinking, pre-pandemic, life was good. I could go do even during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, niggas was taking these cheap ass flights going all the way,
$40 go to Miami.
Yeah, hey, my manager showed me it's a site that you can take a fucking plane ride to damn different country for like $30, bro, a round trip.
Talking about Hopper.
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, that was good. But shit, you ain't getting that no more, bro. This shit through. It says, verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right, because Esau was starving these people out. All right, you're about to see a lot of people starving to death because you're seeing the shortage of baby formula. So these babies are dying, man. And you go in the stores ain't got product like they used to. Hey, you had the Bank of England pretty much said that we're 10 weeks away from a global famine. They said this was a few weeks back that we're 10 weeks away from being out of wheat on a global scale. So we're about to see a lot of people die from famine. Okay, it says, and those that escape the famine is going to die by the sword, because Esau Edom is the most ultimate form of that sword. He's going to be killing these niggas, bro. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So there's going to be a lot of people out here dying to the point to where you're going to go outside and see dead bodies on the ground, and it's going to be normal. The Lord is he's going to physically make you be desensitized to seeing death in that day, because there's going to be that much death out here, bro. So this is the time that we're in, man. This is only the beginning. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get better, man. But that's all good, because that's all what the Most High told us was going to happen, for this place to be taken out. We have to go through that, man. I got one more. You got nothing else?
I got one more.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 28. It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Right, because we've been prophesying, talking about the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, about the destruction of Babylon the Great for decades, man. And that destruction has yet to come, but we're witnessing that it's starting to take place now, ever so much more than ever, man. Okay? It says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and that's talking about America. America is that place that was sown in great wickedness. It said if this place was not turned upside down, the plagues weren't, supposed to hit Babylon, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, so if Babylon, if Babylon is not destroyed, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So the kingdom of heaven cannot get here until Babylon the Great is destroyed, because that scriptures tell you 2 kingdoms cannot reign at the same time, man. One must go down so another one can rise, man. That's always been history. The Egyptians, they couldn't rule, and another nation, had coming after them, man. They had to be destroyed first. And the Babylonians, then the Assyrians, and the Medo-Persians, on down to America now, man. All the prior kingdoms had to fall so that America could be in the place that it is now. And guess what? America is this latest kingdom to be taken out the way, so that the true kingdom, which is the kingdom of heaven, ruled by Yahweh Shai and the rest of the Israelites, are going to come next, man. This is the time that we're seeing taking place, because the Most High is setting everything up, man. All right? I got one more, and then we can close it. Spirit just hit.
Okay. Hey, but the Lord's going to be justified, in destroying 2/3, I had a precept. Well, you got yours before me.
No, go ahead.
It's Romans chapter 10 and verse 18. I start from verse 16. It says, but they have not, when I start from verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. So you get faith by hearing the word of the Lord, Verse 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words into the ends of the world. So all these things are going on. You know, uh, famine. That great confusion. Just all the different plagues. But 2/3. They can't say that they ain't had an opportunity to hear the word.
Nope.
You know.
You niggas all had the same chance that we had.
Yep.
But as it said in 2nd Ezra 9, you hate the liberty that the Lord gave you, so therefore, when he brings that destruction upon you, you ain't gonna have no excuse, man. But this is this is Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And this is what we're seeing, that transition from power, from the wicked to the righteous, man. Because under Esau's rule, he has made the earth to mourn. And he's destroyed life as it is. So as we once again bring it up again, if he was continued to rule, there would be no flesh to be saved when Yahushua returns. So this is why the Most High get him out the way, because he's reached the bound. He's reached the top to the bounds of where he can't pass no more than where he's at. All right. The Lord's going to allow you to establish your new world order just for the fact that as soon as you think you're about to sit down and enjoy, he's going to snatch the damn tablecloth off the table and all that shit going to fall upon you, man. So we're literally witnessing us coming into power, and it's going to be a painful transition for Esau, man. All right, he can go from riches to rags in 1 hour. Riches to rags, like it in 1 hour, man. All right, and Lord willing, will be of the elect. We're going to be able to take part in putting them chains on them damn devils and having them build our kingdom up from the ground up, man. All right?
Okay.
Anything else?
That was it, bro.
So, Lord willing, that was edifying. We're going to close this out. We want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.